Are we all ready?
Okay, I started the recording. I'm going to give them that disclaimer when they sign on. I'll read your bios, and then I'm really just going to hand it over to you ladies. I might, if there's opportunities for questions and nobody's asking, then I might throw something in, but
Perfect.
I know your spiel and I just love it. So this is great.
Our spiel is maybe a little bit different.
It's a little different, but it's good. It's good. We like that you know our spiel. It's the same idea.
I know some of it. Okay, here they come.
Sweet.
Hey, everyone. Welcome in to the Exercise and PD Open Forum. You are welcome to turn on your videos. However, this video is recorded and will be posted on our website later for people who can't make it live today. As always, if you know or love somebody who has PD or is caring for somebody with PD, please share the link, spread the news and the good word out there that we're helping, we're supportive, and we've got some really great guests today who are going to be talking about exercise and Parkinson's disease, who I'll introduce in a moment. It's a free-for-all. If you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand if your video is on, or you can unmute and just kind of yell something. You can use the chat box in the side. If it's a private conversation, remember to toggle down and just say only to Coeur d'Alene Healing Arts or to Lisa. Did I get that right? And that way, not everybody will see it. So just kind of the rules of engagement here. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Dr. Karen Duncan. I am a naturopathic physician here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and I have a focused practice here to support neurodegenerative diseases, specifically Parkinson's disease. I've trained under the wonderful and talented Lori Mishley out of Bastyr University as an adjunctive physician at the PD Summer School for the last 7 years. And this is where I met the lovely ladies today who are going to be talking about exercise and PD. So Dr. Lisa Owe is a physical therapist who has specialized in Parkinson's fitness and wellness for the last 9 years. Lisa recognized the need for community-based Parkinson's classes and founded PD Connect, a nonprofit organization in the San Francisco Bay Area and beyond, offering PD-specific education and exercise classes on a donation basis. SteF Farina is a master trainer who specializes in Parkinson's and senior fitness. She is the co-founder of PD Connect and runs an outdoor boot camp business. Together, SteF and Lisa are known as SNL, and they bring a variety of functional movements and education, including humor, from the broad spectrum of PD-specific certifications they have obtained, which include PWR, Delay the Disease, Urban Polling, and Dance for PD, among many others. On a personal level, these ladies are phenomenal. They're brilliant. They are passionate. I've known them for a while now, and they are hysterical, and they will keep you laughing and enjoy every single second. So I'm going to turn over the host to you ladies.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, we are thrilled to be here. Thank you so much, Dr. Karen Duncan, for inviting us. And, there's no pressure at all, Lisa, to tell any jokes.
I've never been to Coeur d'Alene. Now I feel like
it feels so fancy, Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah,
it's nice. Okay, good. Well, we have a little bit of a PowerPoint that we wanted to share with you, but if you have a chair, I'll be doing chair exercise later. We'll do an exercise demo, but we've got a PowerPoint we'd like to share, and we will need a chair. If not, you can stand in the middle of the room, but we prefer that your bottom touches the chair and comes back up. But we're going to share our PowerPoint here. That's your cue.
Okay.
Lisa is a professional button pusher. And so she is going to get us all queued up and ready to go.
And we can do whatever you like. We did prepare a PowerPoint, but
we can ask questions at any time.
Ask questions. We've got also we've got an exercise demo, all kinds of stuff. So feel free to interrupt. Anyway, so here we go. We're going straight into it.
So I'm SteF.
And I'm Lisa.
And together we are PD Connect. Yeah. But you'll see down in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a person seated. And when we see that, that means that we're going to do sit to stand just to kind of keep this flowing. We don't want to put you to sleep. So sit to stand looks like this. You're going to be in your chair. You're going to stand and then come right back down and stand and come right back down. We'll do 10 of those when you see.
Can we just do 5?
Okay,
Let's
5.
5.
Good cop, bad cop.
How about 6?
6. She likes even numbers.
Like even
okay. All right. So anyway, you get the point there. See, and I think we spelled Coeur d'Alene properly. Healing Arts looks great. Okay, good. On to the next.
Okay, next.
Nope, that's the
Whoops,
timer.
that's the timer.
Okay, we've only done
Press
this for 4
this.
years.
We go like this.
The button. There we go.
And stow.
That's you.
That's me.
That's her.
Physical therapist.
That's me.
Master trainer.
Yep.
And
Yep.
today we're going to talk about the basics. We created this program called the Basics, which basically stands for balance, aerobics, strength, integration, which is sort of like excellence, and
Sorry.
excellence.
I got excited.
Yep.
Okay.
All righty.
But we want you to stay a step ahead. That's why we want to do as much of this exercise and make it Parkinson specific, because going for a walk is great. We're not telling you don't go for a walk, but how are you doing Parkinson specific exercise? Here's a little bit of what we do.
This is who we are.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
We still are on
Every
to
single day,
all of our classes.
I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Let's see that acceleration at the end. A little bit of acceleration. Come on, guys. First. All right. Anyway, so we're here because we're here to talk about Parkinson's and exercise. And a lot of times, people think, what does Parkinson's look like? Well, it normally looks a little bit like this. And, you got diagnosed because you have some of these symptoms, the slowness of movement, or maybe you have a tremor, or maybe you've got rigidity or some like postural instability. But that's not how PD looks all the time, because what we see is that PD also looks like this. Right? So basically, it can be very active and you can live a really full life. When we talk about available treatments, what's out there? Medication, deep brain stimulation, there's this new thing, focused ultrasound, but there's also lifestyle change, which we love to talk about.
Broccoli.
We love broccoli, and that's a lot of what I'm sure
And
Dr.
exercise.
Karen and all you great folks at PD school are talking about too.
Yep.
All right, so exercise. Why exercise? Because exercise is medicine. The way we look at it, especially from the kind of the scientific point of view, is that exercise is like a mini dose of your medication. In fact, somebody in our group says that for her, 72 minutes of exercise is like a half of a pill of Cinemet or carbidopa levodopa. So that's super cool. Imagine that X number of minutes of exercise is kind of like medicine.
You, of course, have to find your number.
Mhm.
And you'll see down in the bottom, this lady or person is seated, and it's time for sit to stand, because we didn't want you to fall asleep already, because we said like 7 times who we were. So let's take a seat in our chair. You're going to try to not use your hands, so you can cross here, keep a wide stance, and you're going to try to stand up out of your chair. 1, we're doing 6 because Lisa said 2, good, all the way up, standing tall. 3.
We love that some of you have your
Good.
camera on, so we
Yes.
can see you. We
4.
love seeing you. Great job, all the way up.
5.
Steph
1
is-
more. 6. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for doing
Okay.
that.
You got a little mini micro dose of medicine there, I'm going to say.
That's like a
Is that
millisecond.
microdosing? Are we allowed to say that?
Maybe not.
Good job,
Anyway.
Tom.
Good job. Good job.
All right, so exercise is medicine, but not all exercise is created equal. This is just a kind of a little mini collage of all the different Parkinson-specific education and protocols that are out there. You know, we want people, because you have Parkinson's, we want people to exercise that will help your Parkinson's. If you're training for a marathon, that would be something different,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So,
But still cool. We like
very cool.
marathons.
we do,
That's
you're
awesome.
very good at it.
Yeah. Oh,
Also,
thank you.
as Steph was saying, a lot of people, they'll say, yeah, I exercise. I love to go for my walk. I live in a great place and I go for my daily walks. But what are you doing that is Parkinson specific? And when we talk about what does Parkinson specific mean, as a physical therapist, I want you to work on these things that we know are problematic in people with Parkinson's, like turning 360 degrees, right? Or different movements in all directions. That's not something you may practice a lot if you're going on your 1 or 2 mile walk every day. So you're missing out on that. What about voice? We like to incorporate voice a lot, right? Dexterity. People don't address it early, so then they'll say, well, gee, I'm really having a hard time typing or texting or all that
Hello.
texting stuff that young people do, you know.
I was
that
making
stuff.
gestures behind you, you know.
Amplitude training, that just means big. We want things, you know, in Parkinson's, the default setting is small. So we really want to do things that are big. We just overemphasize everything.
Yes.
Did you mention
We
how we
exaggerate.
are Geminis? So,
no,
you know, you think there's just 2 of us, there's actually like,
24 of us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So everything is overly
It's
exaggerated.
a lot. Yeah.
Set switching. Set switching is a skill where you're learning to change focus from one thing to the other. And we practice it in exercise class. Because say, for example, you're walking across the street and then all of a sudden your friend calls you and you're in the middle of the crosswalk, right? You want to be able to set switch and know where you're at and what you're doing so that you don't end up just stopping in the middle of the crosswalk. Agility, right? Nobody wants to fall. It's helpful to have agility. And I'm going to admit Mark and Lisa. Hey, that's me and my brother, Mark and Lisa. Anyways, I admitted them. I hope they're part of your group. Finally, attention-based. We really need people to pay attention and work on things that are actually problematic. Like I said, if you just go for your walk, maybe you're not addressing certain things like turning or your arm swing or your posture. Okay, so let's move on. A big thing that we talk about, especially for me as a physical therapist, is this idea of prehab versus rehab. In fact, next month, we're going to Redding, California to do a whole talk just on this, prehab versus rehab. Yeah. What we do and what we encourage people to do is take exercise classes like ours, Parkinson specific exercises, where we work on things like what we just talked about so that they don't ever become a problem. We do this continuously as prehab so that you don't have to go to rehab. It may not be difficult for you now, and that's great. All these tasks, we want them to just continue to be easy for you and not necessarily end up being really difficult. That's a good thing. Okay, moving on. So, and we also really like to talk about things being functional. So,
because nobody wants to do boring exercise.
See how we made functional? It's capital F-U-N. So what does that mean? So when we talk about these specific movements, like the 360-degree turning, stuff like basketball or dancing, right? You can read the slides when you use voice. Easy. We talk about, you know, joining a choir. There are a lot of great choirs out there.
We're not singers.
We're not.
Yeah.
No.
And we might be certified dance for PD, but we're not dancers either.
Dexterity.
But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. People say, you know, what is the best exercise that I should be doing for my Parkinson's? The answer is always the one that you will do. And the one that you will do is generally the one that is fun or entertaining or challenging and keeps you, you know.
Or maybe something different that you've never done before, because then it keeps you interested.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what we strive to do in all of our classes. All right. This is a tough one. Action creates motivation. A lot of times we hear people say, yeah, you know, I'm going to start I'll start my exercise program when I get X, Y, and Z done. And we're a big believer that it actually, we just have to take the action and then the motivation will come. SteF, do you want to read some of our little cartoons here?
Oh, yes. Lovely. This gentleman with the towel and the bike, it says, this morning I spent an hour on the bike. Tomorrow I intend to start pedaling. Okay, so you actually have to do it. I mean, some people take steps to get there, but this other one says it right here. This exercise app must be used with actual exercising. And the other woman over here says, or the gentleman, I'm not sure, says that explains a whole lot.
Right, so what they're saying is you can't get the absorption of the benefits of the exercise by just
beer bottles
reading the
Yes.
app from
Yeah.
your couch.
Yes.
And, you
You
know,
have
we
to
think
use it.
about like, once you have this big boulder that you're trying to push, once you get that momentum and the inertia going, then that's how we keep going, right?
Energy
for-
creates energy.
First, you have to move.
Yes. Ah.
Your favorite topic, building
Love
a
to build the
foundation.
foundation. You know, we see a lot of people and they're doing the exercise and they think that they're doing it properly, but really they're just trying to get it over with as quickly as they can. And we haven't built that proper foundation, which is to do the exercises precisely. It's great that you can do them fast, but we really want to build that foundation. And even we stress a lot of the time starting in the chair so that you can really think about the exercises that you're doing.
I think what SteF is also saying is that, you know, you can start anywhere, but we want to start with really good practice from the get-go.
Yes, that's what I
Learn
meant.
something in little pieces until you've built like brick by brick to build that foundation. And then it becomes like a secure, solid structure. And that's what we want.
Yeah, just like this trainer is saying, if you haven't exercised in a while, you may need to stretch and warm up before you stretch and warm up, right? So
I like that one.
It's important that you get, you know, it's good to get right into it. And it doesn't have to be perfect timing either. I learned this from Lisa. You know, I used to want to go for a 10-mile run, but I had to have the right shoes and I had to have the right shirt and this. No, now I could go in this and be totally okay with it, right? It's just about, it's not always going to be the perfect time. Get it in when you've got the energy to do it and it feels right.
I like this slide a lot, you know, because essentially what we're trying to do as exercise people is that we are trying to get you to start as high up there in terms of your function, your fitness, your wellness, as high up there as you can, so that if someday, you know, 10, 15 years from now, it starts to really kind of take on and they say that it's going to bring you down, it's okay. You're still going to be so far up there that it's not going to be that hard versus someone that doesn't do the work from the get-go and just starts going downhill much faster and much sooner. So as an example of that, I have some videos I'd like to show you about a gentleman who I started working with who, you know, just wanted to work with me on his walking because he could not walk one block without dragging his feet. And he had given up golf, he'd given up skiing, he'd given up all these different things that he loved because he really didn't think that he could do anything more with his Parkinson's. And he was about 8 or 9 years into this. So this was 2016. So just watch this little video here.
All right. That's kind of how.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it is, right? It's kind of slow to get up, really stiff, small steps, no arm swing, stooped posture. So we started working. Oops.
All right.
And we started thinking about stuff like bigger steps, better posture, arm swing, really concentrating. And when we talk about attention, I basically, if I were to talk to him while we were trying to walk, he would start shuffling again. You could hear it right away. His foot would start dragging. So basically, we had to be quiet and concentrate from like one parking meter to the next or one telephone to the next so that he could build that good foundation instead of just getting through. So here he is. Still kind of small steps and his arms are just dangling. And now he's working on those bigger steps. He's trying to swing his arms. you can't even do the funky walk anymore. Go ahead. See what happens.
I'm not gonna do the funky walk.
Can't do the funky walking. Pretty good, right? And we didn't change anything. We didn't change meds. We didn't give him anything different other than just practicing walking, thinking about it, being very precise about how we were approaching the technique. So
Didn't you say he eats vegetables though?
he did change his diet
He
at
eats a
some
lot of
point, but not at
vegetables.
this point. At 2017, he wasn't so into that yet. And then
I'm gonna think he likes broccoli.
we found out that, after a while, I was working with him. He walked a block, he walked 2 blocks, a mile. Now he's back to playing golf and he can walk 18 holes. Sometimes he
pretty
can even walk 36 holes, which is way too much walking in my, it's way too much golf. in
That's a
my
lot of
opinion.
golf.
That's a lot of golf.
But
So
that's building the foundation.
it is. And he
That's
just
it.
kept, and now here's this video. So this is an update 2022. Right? Couple of years ago. So we're talking 6 years farther into his Parkinson's. So now we're talking 14 years plus into his Parkinson's. Plus, he's now 6 years older in age as well.
That's how
And
that works.
we haven't been seeing each other very much at all since 2017, 18. He's been on his own since. So I don't know how many people can walk and turn around and wave at the camera and walk backwards and then turn around again, but that's really hard. So it just shows you that, you can absolutely build that foundation and get better at all of these things that you thought may be, really hard because of the Parkinson's, but no, you can totally work on them and overcome a lot of these things. All right. Okay.
I love this slide.
She loves this slide. The way you move affects different parts of your brain. Parkinson's is a brain disease, so it is affecting your brain. So on the bottom left here, you can see this person on the treadmill. So when you're working on the treadmill and you're just running and you're not thinking about it, and you're just kind of like listening to your music, stuff is here. Then as you go higher up here, you'll see the cycling, it needs a little bit more balance. Then you've got tennis, then you've got dancing and yoga and Tai Chi. And what you'll see is the higher up you go, the more difficult it is because it needs more brain attention, which therefore uses more parts of your brain. And we want that. We want to be able to use more parts of your brain. So in fact, when we talk about what type of exercise you do and how you move affects different parts of your brain, this bottom part, when you're just running on the treadmill, that actually helps slow the progression of the disease. When you do more skill-based things like Tai Chi and yoga and dance and tennis, that helps to reduce the symptoms. So it's 2 different things we're talking about here and 2 different purposes. Just going for a walk, just going for a run or a brisk hike or something, that's going to help slow the progression of the disease. But when you work on your balance or your hand-eye coordination and all these other things, that will help your symptoms. So both are important, and that's why we always like to talk about how PD-specific exercises, protocols like ours and some others are helpful to address all these things. Where's my cursor? Okay, intensity. We talk about intensity because the research shows that intensity does better things for your brain and for the circuitry and everything versus things like stretching or just kind of, walking and things like that. So we want you to feel tired. We want you to be a little bit out of breath, should be a little bit hard. That's when the brain and everything else is really working and building all those good factors. So we have been doing this tandem bike project, which we started, I don't know how many years, a long time ago. Watch this. On one leg. Look at this. You stand fast
Go, Mia, go! 30% faster for 1 minute. Here goes Mia balancing after her bike. After the bike, look at this. Look at this. Wow. Wow. Wow.
You can only repeat things 3 times, I guess,
need
that
to
day.
only repeat things 3 times.
But that's pretty cool. You know, you'll see that the person on the front of the bike really was forcing Mia on the back of the bike to exercise at a faster rate. And she had that instant benefit of being able to stand and balance much easier.
And it was 1 minute.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't a whole lot. You didn't have to go training for a whole bunch of, you know, bike rides. This was just hop on the back of the tandem for 1 minute, and all of a sudden your whole circuitry changes.
On one leg.
Okay.
Aha, my friend down in the bottom here.
Okay.
In case anyone's sleeping, it's time for 6 of our sit to stands. I like that wide stance. Here we go, crossing
Yeah.
the arms here, and here we go. 1 and back down. Don't forget to stand all the way up. 2 and back down. 3, back down. 4, back down. 5, back down. And 6, back down.
That sounds like back down,
Back down. Back down.
like
back
your,
out.
you know, your
Yeah, no, not-
background and no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, how you exercise is important. Like I said, you want to pay attention. I like that there's one person with the camera off because we can really see that Thomas is paying attention. I like that. Thank you, Thomas. I know. Anyway, and then it is challenging. It's got to be somewhat challenging. If it's too easy, it's too mindless, you're not challenging, you're not changing the brain. Goal-oriented. What are you doing this for anyway? What are you trying to achieve? That will help you when you have a kind of an end goal to think about. Task specific. Again, we love that you go for a walk, but how does getting in and out of bed translate when, you know, you're having trouble getting in and out of bed? What does walking do to help you get in and out of bed?
Cycling's awesome, but you're not going to ride your bike to the bathroom.
Exactly.
Right?
And finally, diverse. We want things to be really, that's because,
There's one other thing.
oh, is there one?
Fun. Yeah, we want it to be fun. Now, not all exercise is fun, and sometimes building the foundation to exercise isn't fun.
It's fun when it's over
Okay.
sometimes.
All right. Well, you go ahead with your practical tips.
Okay,
here.
we're almost to the finish line, folks. Practical tips. If you go to a physical therapist, they're the exercise specialist, and I don't know how hard or easy it is in where you live, but it is great if you could start with someone who has experienced PD, not just necessarily a little course, but if they actually see people with Parkinson's, it is a whole different treatment compared to if you were to just walk into a clinic and say, I have Parkinson's, I need to see a physical therapist for gait training or balance or something. It is totally different. If you have a movement disorder specialist, which I'm sure that the resources that you have in Coeur d'Alene, I'm sure
You see
they're,
this
yeah, you
happening?
see this.
Yes,
Mhm.
this is good.
Aim for exercising at least 4 days a week. 7 days is better.
3 days don't count.
Okay, 3 days don't count is what she was saying there.
It's not that they don't count. It's just better to do more.
Well, the research that Dr. Mishley was showing is
Yes.
exactly that,
Right.
you know, at least 4 days a week.
Right.
Aim for higher intensity. So it used to be 150 minutes, and then I took my little red marker and I crossed that out because now they've done more specific research on Parkinson's specifically and found that for this population, 240 minutes is actually kind of the magic number.
That's a lot of minutes.
It's 35 minutes a day. You can do it.
that. Yeah. Well,
And you don't have to do it all at once. You could, you could break it up.
Cardio
5 minutes here,
snacks.
2 minutes there, 15 minutes there, anything to kind of build up to that 35 minutes.
Absolutely.
Intensity, what does it mean? It means it's hard to have a conversation and then you're a little bit out of breath when you're exercising. Get a heart rate monitor, you can do all kinds of things like that. Strength training is also super important, like super important. This is for the brain. Strength training is for longevity and for the brain. It's not necessarily like so you can
Pump you up.
yeah, I mean, of course, we want to be able to lift those 50-pound bags of potatoes that you have in Idaho.
Yeah,
But
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, that's a
Right?
good point.
I carry 50-pound bags of rice,
Yeah.
Anyways, so
No, you don't. You make me
yeah, I
carry
can
them.
make you
Okay.
at
anyway.
least 2 times a week. This is for the brain. Think about I'm doing this for my brain and I'm doing this for my bones as well. Listen to faster music. That can help you. If you like to listen to music, that can help you move a little bit faster. Keep practicing a new skill, even as it gets harder. Some people, they say, gosh, it's so hard to play golf anymore. I can't play anymore. I've done, or I can't put my pants on while I'm standing up anymore. Don't give up. Just give yourself more time and practice.
What she's saying is don't give up wearing pants because it's hard to get your pants on, right? She's saying make sure that you can still put your pants on. Is that what you're saying? I'm translating for you. Okay. Okay. All right.
Be in nature. That's redundant because you live in a beautiful spot already. Make it fun, make it social. I'm so glad that you're here with this great support group and forum so that you can all make this social and make it consistent, and of course, safety first.
But don't forget, it is important. I know it's cold where you're at, and there's probably a lot of people that are going to be joining, but or watching this video, but it's important to get yourself outside too. A lot of us aren't just going to go and be in the woods by ourselves. So sometimes it's just getting a little bit of vitamin D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Never
doesn't it
mind.
snow in
No,
Idaho?
it probably
Yeah,
does.
it does. Of course
Take
it does.
home message.
It does. People in Idaho go out in the woods by themselves.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Good, good.
I was going to
All right.
say, I think that people do go in the
Okay,
woods.
good.
So
All right,
anyways,
well, good. Happy for you.
the frog here, he says that sitting is the new smoking.
Okay,
So let's
not
keep
good.
it moving, people.
Yeah.
Our greatest challenge is truly immobility. That's it. We just have to keep moving. Okay, so higher intensity exercise improves the brain and it slows the progression. PD specific exercise requires thinking and challenge. I'm just reading here. Neuroplasticity. This is when your brain rewires itself. That's what happened to the gentleman in all those videos. He experienced what we call neuroplasticity, and that can happen at any age and at any stage. Somebody just emailed me the other day. They said, wow, we found your videos on YouTube and we started out with the seated exercises, and within 10 days, we're now doing the standing exercises. And they had only been doing seated exercises ever since. So it can happen at any stage. And then different exercises use different parts of your brain, which was your favorite slide.
Yeah,
Put
that's
that in
true.
there for you, Steph.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's just
Okay.
very powerful slide. Okay.
Anyway, so we all encourage you to attend your local Parkinson support
You're
group
here.
and exercise classes. You're more than welcome to join us for our comedy routine, otherwise known as exercise, but
Variety
otherwise
show.
we are at pd-connect.org.
Yes. That's our
Our
schedule.
class schedule.
But again, we're a nonprofit, so you can join us anytime. We also have YouTube videos. You could always watch and exercise with us at any time. We tend to go on the road and still teach from wherever we are. So you get to see other places, like if you've never been
To
to,
the parking lot in Walmart.
that's also true. Yeah, if you've never been to
Wairika.
the Wairika, she told me there was Wairika Bakery. That was not true. And anyway, we ended up at Walmart doing exercise in the parking lot, but it's fine. Anyway, you get to see cool places like the Walmart parking lot, or maybe Portland
We have
or
people
Seattle.
from Moscow,
Idaho,
Moscow,
Moscow.
Yeah.
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 Pullman, Washington.
Pullman.
Anyway,
Moscow.
that's it.
That's it.
For the slideshow part.
Mhm.
There's some exercise demonstration, and I'm not sure if
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we have some questions
Yeah.
here.
oh, got it.
Great time for questions. You guys can open your chat box and use that.
Yeah.
You can unmute, turn on your video, whatever feels good. We'll leave it open here for a little bit.
So I don't
So-
have Parkinson's, but
Mhm.
my dad had Parkinson's.
Mhm.
And whenever I get a little bit of hand tremor, it's pretty mild, but kind of thinks, well, maybe I'm going to get Parkinson's. So I really don't know, but it seems like the exercises would be good regardless if I do or don't get it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And the genetic factor is really only like a very small percentage of Parkinson's and Parkinson's risk. So and exercise is also something that can help you prevent getting certain other diseases. So
That's great that you're here.
Yeah,
That's
thanks for-
being very proactive. That's that prehab.
I love that.
Right?
Prehab
Versus
A+.
rehab. Yeah, A++.
Well,
Yeah,
Karen says be here, and so I'm here. So
Yeah,
she's the
Awesome.
boss.
great. We love that. Does anyone else have any questions right now? we wanted to get you guys moving. So, and give you a couple of ideas as to kind of what we do. You saw a little bit, but also just to give you some demos of things that you can kind of add into your everyday exercise routines, to quote unquote, make things fun. Lisa, did you want to?
I'm just gonna stand here.
You're gonna stand there and
watch.
smile. Okay, just so you know, when Lisa wears lipstick, it means business. So feel honored. Okay, you're just gonna stand there and smile.
Oh,
Karen, did you have questions for us?
yeah, anybody? have
Otherwise, we're gonna take it
questions?
away over here.
Just the one question that I have, I get asked by patients a lot, like I don't want to go to support group, and our YOPD community has a hard time going to group exercises if they're all aging patients. Is there any sort of research or evidence that shows being with a group or in community is actually more beneficial than doing it solo?
Absolutely. That's a great question. You know, I don't know so much if they've done a look at group exercise versus individual. Specifically, I can't think of anything offhand. However, what we do know, based on Dr. Mishley's work, especially, that for people that have said, I am lonely, or like I feel alone, that is as bad for them as 7 days of exercise is good for them. So there are all these great benefits from exercising, but then if you're alone and you feel lonely, then it kind of negates some of those benefits. In terms of what we see in our experience from teaching live classes and teaching online, the community has a huge part of the wellness part of it, because people keep each other accountable, they can see each other, they talk to each other, and sometimes they look around and they're like, whoa, that guy's doing that. I gotta pick up my game.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I want to try that.
pushes them a little bit, and I think that's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Thank you.
definitely.
So for all of you who are signed in or are gonna watch later, I wasn't lying to you. I did not prompt them to say that. The research is real. I wasn't pulling your leg, so I appreciate it, ladies.
Yeah,
Good, yeah.
absolutely. Well, good. Well, we're glad we could validate that. There are definitely studies out there. We haven't quoted any of them in the research that we've done, but they did talk about, there was I don't remember do you remember the study that talked about the fact that it was more about the community than the actual exercise itself?
Yeah.
That really helped the people, because of the mental health and social health capacity of the study. And it was something small,
And
like
that's actually
15 people that they had followed.
Right, and that's a really important point to make there, that it was this sense of community and being amongst people that was more of an indicator for quality of life than the actual exercise that they were doing, whether it was weights or, you know, whatever it was that they were doing.
Bear crawls.
Yeah, push-ups, who knows, burpees.
All of the things.
Yeah.
So, well, we want to show you a little bit of what we do and how we have fun when we exercise. And so feel free to join us. We always teach one person seated, one person standing, so you can join us at any time. Every ability is allowed to hang out with us whenever we can. So let's briefly show them the power moves, and I'll do them seated. And ideally, we start with a nice wide stance. This first one's for posture, and we're going to power and up, looking up.
So this is the part where we're doing Parkinson specific stuff, because we're actually working on our posture. And we know in Parkinson's that posture is one of those things that gets really affected.
That's right.
So whether you know, have Parkinson's or you don't, or you're newly diagnosed or you're farther into it, you always want to talk about posture. Next.
Posture. Okay, now it's time to weight shift. We're going to shift from one side. Good. And then to the other side. Now, this is the building the foundation part. We didn't want to just throw you into a song and hope that you could follow along. We know that you can follow along, but we're shifting our weight.
We're just
from one side to the other side.
Reaching from one side and then reaching to the other side. And this is important because you need this in order to lift up your leg to walk. So although this doesn't look like walking, these are the building blocks of walking.
That's right. The next one we have is about, so that was weight shifting. This one's about rotation. So many of us lose that rotation. Think about going to a fancy hotel. The toilet paper is always way too far away from the toilet. right? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna work on twisting and really twisting. Look at how we're pivoting our feet. Even in my chair, I can bend my knee and bring it here, or I can just stay here and really work through the core or the trunk, if you will, from one side to the other side.
Not only does this help you reach for the toilet paper, but we need this rotation every time we turn. If you're going from the sink to the refrigerator, getting in and out of the car, getting in and out of bed, putting on your coat. And when we start to lose these things, they just sort of sneak up on you and things get harder and harder. That's why we just repeat and repeat and repeat so that they never really become problematic.
You like to repeat. Okay, here we go. We're going to step.
Repeat, then repeat.
Repeat, then repeat. This one is about stepping. So it's transition is what they call it, but it's a fancy way to say stepping. Okay. So we're wanting to step and we want to lift that foot. We're not shuffling our feet. Right, Lisa?
My
Lisa,
back
don't
is
drag your feet.
away from you, just so that you can see that I'm picking up my foot. And
She's not being rude. She's just Dutch. That's okay.
okay,
Okay, you're gonna step
I'm
and bring it
stepping
back together. Good, and step
stepping
together. All right, Lisa, do you want to put a song on and let's do some moves to this?
I don't know if we need to do
Yeah,
that.
we don't even need songs for this. So let's go on. Let's just move on to the next, dual tasking and
Yes.
cognition. So we talk about doing more than one thing at a time. And so, for example, if we were to just march, working on reciprocal movement, which is the opposite arm, opposite leg, and we're stomping and really getting that input into the brain.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is this like a military thing? I feel like I should
It
be
could-
doing.
It could,
left,
yeah, it
left.
could be.
Oh, wait.
Okay,
Left.
Lisa,
Yeah.
we are gonna actually list
Oh.
things that you do for fun. Okay, so you can list things that you do for fun, and we're gonna list things that we do for fun, which could get weird, but anyway, you get it. The idea is to do two things, more than two things at a time. All right, ready?
Uh-huh.
Go. Running, eating broccoli, playing frisbee, hanging out.
Oh, you want me to
my
say
friends?
something?
Yeah, what are you doing? You're supposed to be doing
Play
that.
soccer. I like to
soccer.
play
Yeah,
the
play soccer.
drums. I like to go to gluten-free
like to
vegan
lift weights.
bakeries.
I like to go to gluten.
I like
Okay, you
organic
get it.
spices.
Okay, it's good. We could do this forever, but the idea is to try to, it's distracting, right? So you're trying to really,
Right.
how did your marching go while you started talking and
lot of-
listing words?
Yeah, a lot of
things.
times when we do this, we'll see that people, their legs get shallower and shallower, or they'll just stop. And then I'll ask them a question, well, what do you do for fun? And they kind of stop and they think about it. So that's that scenario when you're walking in the crosswalk and somebody says something, are you going to stop in the middle or are you going to be able to keep going?
We hope not. Okay, let's do a
Yeah.
cardio snack. We call it a cardio snack. It's 1 minute that we like to do any kind of movement. So if you are sitting on the couch and you're watching Maestro and it's 2.5 hours long and you're like, I need to set a timer and I need to get up and I need to start moving around. So we're going to set a 1 minute timer here and we are going to do a couple of different exercises. Join us right now. Oh, Lisa's going to.
I'm going to,
okay.
oh yeah, you were doing that. Okay, I'll just
Yeah.
put the timer on, go.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so you're going to do cross jack. So you're crossing, you're coming all the way up over and around and trying to touch your opposite ear. The opposite ear is the target and you see that Lisa's crossing her feet, but I'm actually just stepping and just kind of moving my feet because it's not always safe for me to cross my feet, okay?
If you have shoulder problems, you can go underneath.
Yeah.
But we
Cross.
really want you to actually touch the ear. A lot of times, again, people don't finish these movements and they come.
Can you go faster?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
And so we want to be able to touch that ear, give it a target and give that
Touch.
input
And
into the
touch.
brain.
And touch. And touch. How about jogging? Now we're jogging.
Okay,
Okay, go
jogging.
from cross jacks to jogging. Because maybe that first thing, it just kind of warmed you up, but it didn't really get your heart rate up. Make sure that
Oh, I
entire
can get
foot
my
hits
heart
the
rate up
ground.
now.
Oh, God.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
She's not competitive or anything. Okay. All right. Let's teach them something else that we like to do. And we mentioned Taekwondo on there earlier. Lisa is well versed in this. Okay. But it's for us, it's about posture. It's different than boxing because we don't want to put you in this hunched over position and you're hitting things that it's only telling you your arm needs to go this far. So for this, it's about posture, discipline, extension, voice, burning your legs, not like putting them on fire, setting them on fire, lactic acid. Okay.
So we start with what we call the horse stance, and it's strong.
Have you ever been on a horse? Okay, another story. Okay, carry on.
Okay, so start with the wide stance
stance.
here.
Okay.
We've got a little bend in our legs. If
Okay.
you see, I wear these striped pants on purpose, so you can see
She
I've
does.
got a little bend in my knees
Right.
here.
Okay.
Strong through the tummy.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm going to stay in this bent position. Your legs will burn a little bit. This is good for the brain. When you feel that burn, you are creating a little bit of lactic acid in the legs. That's good for the brain, and we don't have to go through the science, but
No. Yeah. Okay.
anyway, so we
we're
start with
here.
elbows on our ribs.
We're-
Pinkies on our ribs.
We're not really going to punch. You've got your pinkies here, and what's going to happen is you're going to alternate which arm comes out. So your palm will go down, and when your palm comes back, the palm is up. So you see how we're switching? We're just kind of replacing.
We're switching.
Okay. So let's use your voice. You can use endurance. You can get your heart rate up by sitting in a chair.
But
Okay?
also
And
notice
using
the
your voice.
posture.
Yeah.
Really focused, really engaging those muscles. Okay.
Okay.
So here we go.
We're just going to count to 20.
Okay, let's count to 20.
Chin up. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, I'm sore already.
You're sore already. We just got here.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry. We're not going to torture you for too much longer, but we're going to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
It is called.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. Okay. All right. It is called 1 to 10, 10 to 1.
Oh, we're doing it.
We're doing
Okay.
it. We are going to take you through this TKD experience
Yeah.
here. And it's got trail making in here also, which basically means you're going to pick up where you left off. I'm not always
Trail
great at
making
that.
is kind of this brain cognitive
Exactly.
task.
Can you
It's a
show
little
us
puzzle, like a little no
a what?
puzzle.
A puzzle. A puzzle.
A puzzle.
Okay.
I'm from Holland. It's
Okay.
a puzzle.
Yep. Carry on.
Anyways, okay, so we start with 1 and then we add 1 more to the last one. So it'd be 1, 2, and then we go 1, 2, 3, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Join us if you want.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Going down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1, 1. Woo! So normally we do this with
Now she's whispering.
yeah, well, normally we do this with a timer and we
Yeah.
try to do this within 1 minute.
My
And
heart rate went from 60 to 95.
yeah, see, and that's that
I
thing.
wasn't
That's
jumping.
that 1 minute towards that 35 minutes a day of moderate to vigorous intensity exercise.
We're also not telling you to just go yell at people. That's not as fun. Okay. All right.
Well,
Excellent.
we want to be, mindful of the time here. Are
Yes,
there
we
any
do.
questions
Do you have
or?
any questions?
Yeah.
We got about
Comments?
5 minutes left, ladies.
Okay.
Perfect. 5 minutes left. We can do more cardio snacks with you. We like to do 1 minute drills. There's all different types of things to make exercise fun. Does anyone here? I know it's tough because you all are not your picture. I can't really tell if any of you have questions. But is there anything that you do that you consider fun? That's exercise or things that you're interested in? If anyone wants to answer that question, Dr. Karen, you might be answering that question.
Is there things like playing music that aren't really cardio?
Wonderful. Absolutely.
Is there a specific instrument that you play?
Guitar and ukulele mostly.
Oh,
very
cool.
cool. That's
Very
really good
cool.
for dexterity
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Awesome. We love that. You know, just think about people singing or playing the guitar or, you know, the banjo or the ukulele, or ukulele is what, as some people say. But even think about like the trumpet or the tuba, using your you know, using your vocal cords, all that kind of great stuff. Anyone can unmute and participate, or even use the chat box, is what Dr. Karen is saying. Otherwise, we're going to do some jugglers then, and
Oh,
just,
are we okay?
yeah, we're just going to keep you moving and give you some more fun ideas. If
All right.
there's a specific movement that you're struggling with, like putting on your shoe, you should practice that specific movement, and you can make that an exercise.
Sure.
And so what you could do is practice putting on your shoes, and sometimes we do it just like this, right? Just like this. Sometimes just half the battle is getting your leg up there.
Mhm.
So we're going to do something we call jugglers. We're soccer players, so we call this jugglers, and we're going to show you the jugglers, and then we're going to list things that make you smile or things
Okay.
that bring you joy.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready,
All
Lisa?
right. This is our last
This is
exercise,
it.
and then we'll
Here we
wrap
go.
it up.
1
Yeah.
minute on the clock, Lisa,
Oh,
please.
1 whole minute?
Okay, how about 30 seconds on the clock, Lisa? She always bad talk. Okay. All right, 30 seconds. So it looks like this. Same side, opposite, opposite. Same side, opposite, opposite. Same side, opposite.
Wait, we're supposed to be
opposite.
listing
Yeah,
what?
I'm just teaching them to
Oh.
start. You started the timer. That's why I said 1 minute on the clock. Okay, anyway, the point is you're gonna list now things while you're doing this.
That make
you're
you
gonna
smile?
list, yeah, you're things that make you smile. Or
Puppies,
kittens, people,
puppies and kittens.
music.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
music. Yeah.
How about chinchillas?
Baby animals.
Yeah, tiny
the
dogs, which are also known as puppies. Okay, but so what happened to your jugglers? Were your jugglers a little, how would
Mine
you
were
say?
pretty good, actually. I've
Yours
done
were
this a
pretty-
lot.
Yeah, well,
so
you practice
I
that.
did.
So, for example, if you're having a struggle putting your shoes on, it's helpful to start moving your body so that you can start putting your shoes on. And remember how that we mentioned about if you're having troubles putting your pants on while you're standing up, don't just give up putting on your pants, right? Okay. If there are any more questions, we would be happy to take them. Otherwise, we're just going to keep making you do cardio
Yeah,
snacks.
we're Lisa
We-
and SteF from
Yes, from PD Connect, somewhere in California. And you can also email Dr. Karen Duncan at info@cdahealingarts.com. I don't need to wear glasses at all. No. So, but something that we'd love for you to take from this talk, well, there's a lot of things because Lisa had that whole list of things she wanted you to know. But aside from that, we want you to just do the exercise that we know that you will do. And if it's doing it in tiny bouts, setting a timer, saying, hey, I've been sitting down for far too long. My timer that sounds different from the timer that I need to take, that goes off when I need to take my medication, sounds different. That timer is telling me it's time to get up and go. Okay.
I love that you are here for this educational session.
Mhm.
You know, I think at the end of the day, having kind of a better idea about why you're doing certain things and what you should be doing is all just going to help you in the long run. So thank you so much for being here and
Yeah,
listening and learning and, you know, and watching and thinking how weird we are. But
you know what? If it's not weird, it's just not fun, Lisa. You know, you got to be a little bit weird.
speak for yourself.
Okay. All right. I'll speak for myself. But somebody have said that you guys are fun.
Yeah,
That's us, I think.
we've heard that.
Yeah. Well,
You guys are wonderful. I am so appreciative that you're here. Thank you so much. I enjoy every minute with you guys that I've known you for the last time. Truly experts, you know, anybody like I said who's here now and who works with me or is watching this later, you know, I think one of the biggest takeaways that I'm getting from their lecture is that, you know, it is individual and your diagnosis does matter. And you have to find people who are willing to support you and this diagnosis. It can't just be a one size fits all. And then the second thing is really advocate for yourself. You've been given a lot of information with this diagnosis, a lot of what you can and cannot do, and here's your medications and here's your routines. This is an opportunity to take your power back and to do something on your own and to really modify your disease process when other people might tell you that you can't. So I love that you said multiple times, don't quit, don't stop, keep practicing, keep learning. You know, a lot of my patients are probably laughing like, oh, we get beat over the head. It is just phenomenal to have the two of you here. Your wealth of knowledge is inspiring. And I'm just so glad that you're here. You know, Lisa and SteF took time out of their own schedule today to volunteer to be here. I'm so appreciative of them. So virtual round of applause. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you for having us. We had a blast. We love it.
Of course.
Yes, thank you.
All right, I'm going ahead and end the recording here now. Anybody can email us or get connected on their website, and sending you guys big bear hugs.
Awesome. Thank you. Bear hugs back.
Thank you.
Have a great
Bears?
yeah. They have bears
in
there.
Idaho?
I think so.